Hello, everyone, and welcome to another interview in our series for the Law Marketing Zone group. Today, I'm very excited to welcome Corinne Fisher with GMB Boost. Here with us today, she specializes in getting local businesses ranked in Google, and she's going to tell us the benefits of being ranked for attorneys. Thank you so much for joining us, Corinne. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you so much for the introduction, Marilyn. So as you mentioned, I do specialize in helping businesses get ranked in Google, and specifically our main focus is Google Maps, which we'll be going over today. And I'm really excited to kind of present this to you guys and show you the value of it. So I am based in Florida, beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. And I've been doing this for about 5 years now and seeing tremendous value for ourselves as well as for our clients in regards to this service. So thank you so much for having me on, Marilyn.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see. The Google Maps is always so important for clients, and I'm interested to see how you can help them rank better and get those phone calls from it.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to share my screen now because I've got a cool little presentation
Okay.
for everyone. Get this shared. Here we go. Perfect. And then as you guys are watching this, if you have any questions at all, pop those in the comments and I'll be sure to come in the group and answer those if you have any questions in regards to what I'm going over. All right, so Google My Business. Hopefully most of you are familiar with it in some form or capacity. But just briefly, I'm going to touch on exactly what it is. So what is Google My Business or Google Maps? So Google My Business is the individual listings within Google Maps here. So you can see here, this is like a screenshot from a phone of different lawyers in Atlanta, Georgia. So I just did a quick search, lawyers in Atlanta, Georgia in Google, and this is what you come up with Google Maps. When you're on your phone, you have the cool click to call feature. And as you can see, you can view everyone's reviews right here directly within Google Maps as well. So having those 5-star reviews is super important, but also showing up, right? So how is this controlled? How do people actually show up in Google Maps, and why is it important? So I'm going to touch on why Google My Business ranking is important, especially for attorneys, really for any local business, but it can produce amazing return on investment for attorneys. So first of all, it provides hot, ready to buy leads and appointments. These are people actively searching for your services. It typically provides the greatest long-term return on investment out of all marketing efforts. Honestly, what I've seen is it provides the greatest long-term return on investment. It helps to solidify your local reputation, and you can easily track the results and see increase in phone calls, increase in website visits, and the tracking and the data analytics is really not too difficult or hard to understand. So what is Google My Business or Google Maps? Oh, there we go. Sorry, it was going backwards. All right, so the quality of leads, quality versus quantity. So Google is search-based intent, right? These are people thinking about something, wondering who they can go to, and they're typing in their search in Google. They are actively looking for your services. They are ready to buy when they call from Google. So as long as you have great reviews backing you up, the sale is that much easier from Google specifically. So like I mentioned before, it provides an amazing long-term return on investment. And there's little maintenance once you're actually ranking. So this by far provides the greatest long-term return on investment for any local business. The business shows up, the business gets phone calls every time someone is searching for their services, and you aren't having to provide deep discounts or constantly put up those lead grabbers to try and get people in the door if you've ever had to do that before. and you become a local reputation rock star, right? So when you show up in Google, there's just something about it that people think that you are the go-to expert, right? So more 5 stars equals more business and a better reputation. Showing up in Google obviously equals a better reputation. And people think that if you show up in Google, you must be the go-to expert in your field. And if you don't show up in Google, then you kind of don't exist in the business world these days. So you have to be in Google.
That is true.
Yeah. Even if you've had a warm referral, most of the time what people are going to do is they're going to do a search, right? And they're still going to look you up even if they were referred to you by someone else. So it is super important that you at least have some sort of presence and reviews on Google.
Exactly. And we do encourage in the group getting as many reviews as you possibly can, because people will search by that, will make a decision by that as well.
Exactly. And as we saw in our previous example, I'll go back here to this screenshot right here. So if you're up against, see, we have a 4.7, 4.9, 5.0. That's not too much of a discrepancy here, but occasionally you'll see someone with 3 stars or no reviews. So if I'm here and I'm trying to cherry pick who I want to call, obviously I'm going to pick the person with the highest reviews.
Right.
So you can see this is what it looks like in the real world when someone is searching, and you're up against your competitors at that point. So definitely have to pay attention to those reviews. So let's look at a real world example. So I need a real estate attorney in Atlanta, but I don't know anyone and I don't have any references. So my next logical step in today's day and age is to search Google.
Right.
So what does that look like? And how many other people are looking for a real estate attorney in Atlanta? Well, we can see by these results. So I have a neat little tool that tells me how many people are searching in certain areas for terms. And out of all of these terms, so you have real estate attorney Atlanta, free consultation, residential real estate attorney, real estate lawyer, commercial real estate attorney. Out of all of those, we come up with a total of 380 searches a month happening for just those terms alone. Okay. And those are just the ones that I looked up. There's a ton of others, but just those, we're looking at 380 a month potential phone calls, potential consultations, and of course, potential cases taken.
Excellent. Okay.
So are you showing up? All right. This is where it can get a little bit complicated, because maybe you pick up your phone and you type in your business name, or you type in attorney in wherever you're located, and you show up at the top, right? But I have some questions for you. Are you sitting at your exact location, your physical business address? And have you looked up your business before? Odds are, if either one of those is true, you're going to show up at the top or towards the top, because Google has already cached your phone or your IP address, and they're going to give you results based on that. They are also going to give you results based on your geolocation.
And that's misleading, right? I mean,
exactly.
We've had these conversations with clients before that is just completely misleading. So explain how that works.
Yes. So Google Maps results are based on a number of different factors, but the top ranking factor is your geolocation. So if you're literally sitting at your physical address searching, you're most likely going to show up at the top or towards the top, because you're literally sitting at your physical address searching. Now we need to actually see real-time results based on if someone has never looked up your business before, they never heard of you before, and maybe they're a block down the road or they are 1 mile down the road. Where do you show up in the listings? So there's a neat tool that you can use called localfalcon.com to find out where you really show up in the search results in real time. So someone, like I said, that's never searched your business and where they are physically located, whether it be 1 mile, 2 miles, you can see where those rankings are. And the grid is going to look something like this. So if you've got someone that's, say, 1 mile out, you may show up at the number 3 spot. 1 mile south, you may be the number 13 spot, right? So this is going to give you a real-time results as far as where you're physically located and where people are searching geographically.
Okay. So further away, you're going to be lower in the rankings normally.
Yes and no. So what we do when we take a client on is our goal is to push that ranking as far out as possible from your physical location. So typically with our campaigns, what you'll see is you'll see those 1s and 2s start to kind of push out. So they'll expand. So you'll see 1s, 2s out here. And the longer our campaign goes on, those 1s and 2s just kind of keep growing and fill up the map, right? So I have clients that we're filling up the entire map here with 1s and 2s, but it's all based on our efforts and our SEO efforts, essentially, of getting that business ranked.
Okay.
So obviously, the lower you are in the rankings, the less phone calls you're getting because you're not showing up when people are searching for you.
Okay.
So does it really make a difference? And what kind of results can you maybe expect to see from a campaign like this? Well, these are some examples of our clients. So this particular client, these are their Google My Business results. A divorce attorney's phone calls increased by 71% compared with the previous quarter. And the visits to their website increased by 28%.
Wow.
Yes. So imagine what kind of impact that can make if your phone calls increase that much.
By hot leads, people that are looking for you and have a desire right now.
Exactly. So they're not just, looky-loos or trying to see, oh, well, maybe I can do it. I don't know. These are hot leads. They're ready to buy right now. Yeah, exactly. And here's another example, immigration attorney. Their phone calls increased by 103% compared to the previous quarter, and their website visits increased by 52%.
Wow.
Yes. So these are real results, tangible results that you see when you actually start paying attention to your local ranking in Google Maps, your local ranking in just the Google search results, and your reviews, right? It makes a huge difference. And this is why I said that my clients typically see the greatest long-term return on investment with Google because they are the highest quality leads. And that's where people go when they don't know who to call. They go to Google.
Exactly.
So any questions, Marilyn, that you can think of that your audience may have?
Explain to me, okay, so we've heard the hack about taking selfies outside of, like, say, in your city. You're taking pictures away from your office. Is that one of the things is that a good thing to do? If I cover, say, Atlanta and I'm in Marietta, so, using Atlanta as an example, would it behoove me to go to some of the landmarks and take pictures and post that on my GMB?
That's a great question. And yes, the answer is yes. So first of all, you want to make sure that your location is turned on, right, on your phone so that you can actually provide what's called the EXIF data or the geolocation data to Google. So you want your location turned on. You can take a picture, a nice professional picture, and you don't want it too far from your location because, odds are that's not really going to do anything. You want to be strategic about it. So, maybe you take a picture a day if you have time to do that, or a picture a week, and you start kind of going out of your radius slowly. So you go half a mile down the road, then you go a mile down the road, or even a quarter mile, the next day a quarter mile, and you take a picture, and then you directly upload it to your Google My Business listing from there. And yes, that can absolutely help for sure. Another tip is to try to get reviews that use your keywords. And I know that's kind of hard because it's hard to tell someone, oh, can you write this in your review? But if you are actively asking people for reviews, you can kind of say, hey, can you write a little something about how we helped you with blank in your review, right? So if you are an immigration attorney, someone could write a review saying, thank you so much for helping me with my immigration case. So you want to work in those keywords to the actual reviews themselves.
Okay. So like, you can give them some examples of what to write, but you don't want them all sounding the same.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want them all to sound the same, and you can give them an example if you feel comfortable doing that. But we always automate our review acquisition, meaning that whenever a job is complete, we send someone a request for a review automatically via text and email.
Okay.
And in that request, you could type out something that says, here's some examples of reviews. And it makes it easier for people to simply copy and paste. And then what you can do is you kind of switch that up over time so they're not all identical.
Yeah. So yeah, because I think if you help people, they'll be more apt to do it, as opposed to putting it off and procrastinating. Wait, I can't think of what I want to say and that sort of thing. And then
Exactly.
also with some attorneys, like say you're a DUI attorney or something like that, people don't want to say they have that particular case. But so in that case, would it be something like maybe like a reputation kind of a character review?
Right. So obviously, some of the cases can be a little personal. So people aren't always going to want to write or associate themselves with that case, right? So, you just have to be cognizant of that when you're asking for reviews and understand that may not always be possible, but it's just a little tip. If you can work in the keywords into the reviews, then do it if it's possible.
And do you find that is it helpful for the Google My Business ranking to reply to each review that is left for you?
Yes, you definitely want to reply in a timely manner to each review that is left.
Okay, awesome. So, well, that's a lot of great information. So you help attorneys or basically local businesses get ranked and stay ranked. Now, so how long does it take to actually start seeing a difference on average?
Yeah, great question. So the typical time when we actually start to see results is around the 60-day mark. And that means an increase in phone calls and an increase in website visits. So it is a longer term strategy, but once you start to see that increase, it makes a huge difference, and it typically continues to increase, right? And your rankings continue to go up. And once you're holding one of those top spots, there's not a ton that's involved with keeping it unless your competitors are also, trying to take some of those top spots. Another tip that I wanted to give is pay attention to what your main category is. So whatever type of law that you practice, Google has specific main categories in Google My Business that you can have. So if you practice, immigration or divorce, you can actually have that as your main category, and it's going to give you a greater chance at showing up for those search results rather than if your main category was just a blanket attorney or blanket lawyer.
Okay, okay. So you choose the categories. So can you choose multiple categories?
Yes, you can choose multiple categories. However, that main category makes a very big difference in your search results.
Okay. All right. Awesome tips. Those are great tips. So let me ask you, if someone wants to talk to you about improving their Google My Business, their map ranking, how can they get a hold of you and work with you?
Yeah, so you comment below if you want more information or just directly message me. That's fine. Also, I'm going to give away 2 free audits to anyone that's watching this. The first 2 people that comment, I'm going to give away 2 free audits and consultations. So if you just comment below audit, I'll see that and I can take care of that and get with you.
Okay, awesome. That's fantastic because I know it's such an important piece of the puzzle, and I know that a lot of people just don't take the time for it or don't understand how important it is. So thank you so much. This has been so eye-opening about the information, and that's a
Of
great.
course.
Thank you so much for the audits. 2 lucky people are going to be very lucky to be able to see where they are, what they're doing, and be able to improve their Google My Business after talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Marilyn.
All right, this has been wonderful. Guys, if anybody wants to get that audit, the first two people to comment will get that. And if you have any other questions that we didn't cover today, put that in the comments. Corrine will be in the group. She'll be looking around and be answering those questions for you. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get some comments here and ask some questions, and people can learn a bit more about the map pack.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you on the next interview.
Bye-bye.